Welcome, beloved. We are being invited by Jesus to join quickly in a moment of light. And we're going to use the miracle worksheet given by Jesus. Oh, that was, I remember now the mute.
Okay.
All right. We're going to reference the Joining Enlightened Miracle Worksheet given by Jesus. He's encouraging us to join quickly with him in a moment of light. And so we are learning to just have a dialogue with him throughout the day and join with one another in these joinings, in these group joinings, to practice hearing and speaking the voice for God, the light within, which Jesus is a representation of that. He's a symbol of the light within. And he's also sharing with us that we can all hear his voice, all of us. No matter what we may think or believe or pretend. So it's natural. It's the voice of the light within is natural to us. And so we may encounter some resistance to this. So we join to, yes, the first, actually what I was hearing was to ask for a pre-miracle to look at the desire, to look at today, and just see if there's, just ask Jesus for help in putting any resistance to looking at desire, the desired experience in the light. And the desire we were hearing for today is the desire to think apart from God. So we'll ask Jesus to help us with a pre-miracle to looking at the desire to experience thinking apart from God. There's any difficulty, any strain, any efforting, any wanting to interpret, any holding of energy, kind of holding back. We want to just offer that to the light. In the light of divine being, which is our true nature, our inheritance.
Let's go for it.
Okay. In the Joining in Light Miracle Worksheet, you can find that on the joininginlight.net website. That's our website. And we also have a phone app where it's listed in a couple places. And it's actually interactive on the phone where you can enter in notes, which is really neat. And we have a Facebook Messenger group linked with our Facebook page if you'd like to stay in touch with us that way as well. So it's good I have a printed copy that I'm going to read from, and it's helpful just to have a copy on hand to reference. And there's steps for joining. the steps given for joining. When you are upset, ask me quickly for help. Let me direct you, whether you are to join with a brother or work with me in each case. So throughout the day, we can join, we can use this on our own, or joining with a brother, and we can just ask, okay, what is most helpful? Is it most helpful to join with someone, and who is that one that I need to join with? And he's saying, this is honesty of God. See that you are light. Admit where you deny the light, and cease to deny the light by asking for a miracle. So when you join, you will be calling to me, and you will be heard and answered, so that you can build confidence that you are indeed directed by the one who knows, the one who will demonstrate to you that all the fears, every thought, feeling, and emotion that you experience appears because you desire it, and that this need not be. So when you feel upset, join quickly and ask me how to handle it. Ask me for the steps to take to recognize that it is indeed a desire, and that indeed, although you have denied many miracles, you can choose a miracle anytime by asking for it, and so it shall be given unto you. This will help train you to go to light first in all things. In this, you will cease to deny that indeed you are happiness. When you join with a brother, pray together and ask me to help you. Focus on the light within, the light that you share, the only thing that is real. Ask me specifically what miracles need to be performed. Ask me what my guidance is for you to look at in this joining, and share it with your brother. So we're going to be looking at the desire for the experience to think apart from God. And first we check in with Jesus, we do a light check and say, okay, Jesus, do I have a desire to think apart from God below my level of awareness? And hear his answer, which I hear yes. He says, I will remind you not to look upon the error and make it real. This is a denial of yourself. Look not at the experience. Join with me to look directly at the desire below the experience. Admission of the desire is powerful. It is no longer holding on to the denial that you are indeed denying divinity. This leads to very fast release and acceptance of the miracle. In other words, you are admitting that you do have a desire to deny that you are light through experience. Ask me then what to do and listen for the answer. Share my answer with your brother. So we can just sit with the relishing of this desire to think apart from God and really just let that come up in awareness, and share what we're hearing. It's like
I'm hearing, what I'm hearing is that the Mary character, as she's put herself together, thinks that she can think thoughts all to herself, that nobody else can hear them, nobody else knows about them. They're just right here inside this head. And so, yes, of course, I can think thoughts apart from God. That's what the Mary character thinks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like a little story, like a little play.
It's supposed
like
to be
playing with thoughts and ordering them, and yeah, shifting them around and trying to find better thoughts and trying to find salvation through thought.
Yeah, that I think is a reasonable explanation, that I have thoughts separate from God's. Of course.
Mm. Yes, defense kind of like it comes up here for me, where there's a little bit of a like a protection. I want to protect my thoughts. They're mine.
Mhm.
And it's like usurping the power of God, because there's like a, it's not an awareness that I'm um, misusing divine power. It's like a um, denial that that the thoughts are coming, that the thought I'm generating the thoughts, that it's through a decision that I want this experience, and that's why they're showing up. So I admit that as well. It's like a um, there's pleasure in thinking apart from God. I feel like I'm getting something, and so we can look at that, and then we can also see if this is holding or release. So we'll ask Jesus, is this holding or released?
It still feels like that it's a fact that I can think thoughts apart from God.
I'm seeing two rooms, the room I think in and the room God thinks in. And never the twain shall meet. And I'm relishing that, actually. Relishing the fact that never the twain shall meet.
Yeah, it's been very helpful to do a light check and just see the contrast between the light and this desire to think apart from God. Kind of like, what is this light thing? It's like thinking about something and then moving in that direction. So it's kind of getting all tied up in that.
Yeah, what I'm hearing is that because I think I can think thoughts apart from God, that there's a sense of separation and autonomy about it all that I really relish. I have my own thoughts, and yeah, that kind of makes me special. I'm separate.
Yeah, I had heard superiority as well. There's like I'm, I've got it together, kind of. I'm better than you, God. I can do better than you. Trying to end run myself. This way of looking is very practical because we go below the experience and we just stay with the desire. So for holding and release, were you hearing that this is holding?
It was, the longer we look at it, the more it seems to kind of, there's more spaciousness to it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he was reminding me of like just giving him access to the mind and just letting him. Letting him reveal the areas of my mind that I'm trying to hide from the light.
I'm being shown that there's something about this desire for me that zeroes in on my lack of trust. My lack of trust that I and the Father are one. The love of the Father is there. And I feel this, it's almost an inferno raging because of that lack of trust. And I don't want to analyze it too much. I just know that that was shown, and it says something to me about what I need to continue to look at.
Yeah. It's unsparing, but it's also gentle, and he's just taking our hand. We are stepping into it. We're stepping towards him and saying, okay, I have this and I need help. And he is here in full support, 100%.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little nudge, just a gentle reminder from him that, hey, it's good to look. You know, remember that this is not just, it's good to look, you know, let's explore.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
There's some sort of power I can see
Yeah.
there in the relishing of feeling like or thinking that I can have thoughts separate from God. There's some sort of power I think I have in that. So I'm just, let's see what else he's saying here. Yeah, by believing that I can think thoughts separate from God, It increases the sense of isolation from God and separation. That I'm powerful unto myself apart from God. Because I can think apart from God. That's the belief.
Yeah, when we join, it's like seeing where I don't trust his timing. I want to have things, his timing, his timing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like with the good joke, it's all about timing. It's all about timing. So we can just see how much we do not want to um, to give over everything. It's like, what is there still we need to see?
I notice the value I think I get out of this is feeling autonomous and separate.
Mhm.
Like I can run the show myself. Thank you very much.
Right. I share that same value, Mary, that, yeah, what is this Christ control? But I had this moment when I was just thinking, it's really hilarious because when I do hand it over to him, things have a way of working out. But, even when that happens, I still, the next time that I might have an opportunity to open to him, I still find that the walls of resistance going up. What? I know better. And I relish knowing better, even though it's built on clay legs.
I've never before really questioned what are my thoughts. If I think I can have thoughts apart from God, what are my thoughts? I mean, what are thoughts? It was just bringing that up. I'm so sure they're real and they mean something just because I thought them. I thought thoughts. And what is there beyond my thoughts? That question keeps popping up. What I'm hearing is that I'm so sure, I think I know what all this means, to have thoughts apart from God, or, yeah. And yet the more I just look at that desire, it's as if it begins to, it just begins to fade. Just by looking at it, it's really amazing. It's like not a lot of fireworks and fanfare and oh boy, I'm awakening. No, it's not that. It's just this very quiet awareness that something is loosening up and something's happening that leaves me feeling lighter and happier. He's having me look at what are thoughts. What is a thought? I'm so sure it means something. I'm so sure it's real and it has like a causative effect on everything.
Relishing how I never thought God would be that interested in my thoughts. So why not keep them separate? I don't think I've ever looked at this at all.
All the assumptions I make about thoughts, my thoughts. And relishing that I think thoughts apart from God.
Mhm. Relishing almost the power from mind wandering. You know, I want to have that feeling again of autonomy, but also I'm going to do what I want to do with my thinking.
I just opened my eyes and realized we've lost Renee.
Oh, me too.
I'm not quite sure how to get her back. Let's see if she messaged us.
Okay.
We're busy. Oh, there she, okay, there she comes.
Okay.
Okay, let's see if we, okay, we asked to unmute.
There we go.
There you go.
I
We just were
said
talking.
we're back. Yeah, I
we
was
just
hearing
realized we
like what?
lost you.
Oh, sure. We can ask Jesus to show us our real thoughts.
Show us what?
Are we willing to see our real thoughts? Are we willing to see our real thoughts?
It's kind of, I
Thank you.
feel like it's kind of
Yeah,
taking.
like infinite, infinite.
We could come back to that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sure. Okay.
that's kind of like miracle.
Yeah, because actually yeah, I was gonna say we can ask if we're ready for a miracle, or if there's more for us to see.
I notice I have to be, what I'm hearing is I have to be willing to let go of my thoughts about God, about what I think separate thoughts are, and my thoughts about God. I have all these assumptions and thoughts about God. Does God think? What are God's thoughts? What is that? And I can still see that I'm hanging on to valuing my own thoughts apart from God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in the worksheet, Jesus says, "Ask me whether you are ready for the miracle, or I will tell you if you have a hidden desire to deny the miracle. Ask me if there is anything else you need to see. Then you will see it is already accomplished. This will train you to put all miracles under my control and ask for my help for all miracles. I'm in charge of the atonement. I know which miracles are to be performed and what timing is best for miracles, as you desire to refuse yourself miracles and thus suffer the effects of not experiencing miracles and hearing my voice, both of which are natural to you. This is what I mean when I say that miracles must not be under conscious control, as consciousness is the desire to control and thus limit miracles. Thus, you must rely on my guidance in this regard. Jesus, do we have a hidden desire to deny the miracle?
I notice how much I relish hanging on to my own thoughts. Like I want my own world. I want it the way I see it. And if I let go of that, then it's as if I disappear. And that scares me. It's like I feel like I'm giving up control of some kind.
Okay. I was hearing like that I have a right to think apart from God. It's my right.
Mhm. That's just the way things are,
Mm.
thinking apart from God. Jesus, am I willing to entertain the possibility that maybe I'm wrong about this? That it's not possible to
Oh yeah.
apart from God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear that I'm willing to see that there's confusion about about God, and just so it's been helpful to just stay with the contrast between the light or God and the desire part. Like want to think apart with all your like we could see that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed what you just said.
I'm going to turn off my video because my internet connection seems to be kind of going off or fluttering. Okay, let's see. There we go. The contrast of the light and thinking apart from the light.
Mm-hmm.
The light thinking apart from the light, the light thinking apart from the light, and just kind of go back and forth until it's that burn. It will burn that thought, fire.
Yeah, it's a very gentle process.
Mhm.
Uh-huh. Oh. Okay, it's feeling complete here. What are y'all hearing?
Yeah, it feels, well, it just feels like it's looser, like there's more spaciousness around it. It's not like, okay, there's no other way except thinking thoughts apart from God. Okay, maybe there's a picture here.
I'm feeling a lot of gratitude too, because I think I've looked at this with any degree of focus. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you,
Thank
Kathleen.
you.
Thank you, Mighty Companions everywhere.
Thank you, Mary and Renee and the Mighty Companions.
And we'll see you tomorrow night at another Joining in Light group.
Good night.
Good night.
Good
Thank you.
night. Good night.